Hi guys! So today I'm actually going to take you through a day of eating and tracking for me. Most of my clients, if not all of them, have never counted or tracked a macro ever. So it can be really challenging and kind of scary in the beginning because you feel super overwhelmed. But really, you'll see as you go, it gets so much easier. So let's get started. So here's a little quick food prep tip for you guys. I actually cook all of my eggs on Sundays to start the week, and I basically scramble a bunch of omelets and I put them in tin foil and I store them in the fridge, and then when I'm ready to eat them, I just microwave them. They keep literally the entire week. So today we have 2 eggs and 2 egg whites, and I will literally just heat that up and eat that. Okay, so my eggs are heating up right now, so let's go ahead and make our oatmeal. Literally, I'm gonna put that here, turn my scale on, it reads ounces, not grams. So you just go to units, and we have grams, great. So these are so I buy a big thing of Quaker oats, they're plain, no flavor. And then I kind of pre-measure them in case I need to grab them. So I know this is probably going to be 40 grams, which is, let's see, 37. That's not enough. So to explain where I got the 40 grams from, if you look here, it says half a cup of dry is 40 grams, and that's a serving. So that's 3 grams of fat, 27 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber, and 5 grams of protein. So that 40 grams is what I'm trying to aim for here. So let's see, just add 41, close enough. Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead and cook this, and we'll be right back. All right, so our oatmeal is cooked. All I did was just add water and put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds. You can see I put it back on the scale and it's weighing in at 167 for grams. Now we want to add peanut butter. So what I'm doing is I'm looking over here, and I know that I want 1 tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons is 32 grams, divide that in half. 16 grams is 1 tablespoon. That'll get us 16 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of protein. So the way we do this is, no dirtying more bowls, but literally you're going to go over here and you're going to hit tar, and it resets your scale back to 0. So it doesn't understand now that there is oatmeal on here. It's weighing in at nothing. So we're able to come over here, and we are going to kind of scoop out some peanut butter, and I can't do this with one hand, so bear with me. Okay, so all you missed was me putting peanut butter into my oatmeal. You can see I put the glob in there, and look what we got. Nailed it, 16. All right, so that's pretty much how you build a meal on your scale without having to add or use more tools. Okay, so now that we measured our breakfast, we want to go ahead and enter it. So I'm in MyFitnessPal. This is my own diary. And I go to add food. And it shows me a lot of my most recent stuff. I tend to eat kind of the same thing every day. So this is very easy for me to just go, okay, I had 2 egg whites. I had 2 whole eggs. Peanut butter. I had 16 grams, and rolled oats, I had 40 grams, which is half a cup. So I check all these, I add checked, and there are all my macros. So my breakfast was 32 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fat, 29 grams of protein. If you scroll down here, let's see, today we're aiming for 1,700 calories, and we've already eaten 423 of them. And it's giving me how many carbs I have left, fat, and protein.
So one thing I do recommend is entering before you eat. So for me, I eat this pretty much every single day, so I knew exactly what it was going to be, but I definitely recommend entering it first, seeing if it fits, and then going ahead and eating it. Something else I like to do is trying to enter my entire day. Even if I don't know exactly what I'm going to eat, I want to enter something. So for lunch, let's see. For lunch today, this is where the recent really helps is I tend to food prep on one day. So I pretty much eat the same stuff with a little variation all week. So that kind of allows me to enter phantom meals is what we'll call them, things that maybe I'll be eating, but their macro count will probably be similar to whatever I end up picking. So I know that I'll probably have 3 ounces of grilled chicken, probably 100 grams of sweet potato. This Sabra tzatziki dip is amazing. Let's see, is there anything else? We're at the end of the week, guys, so I'm kind of out of a lot of stuff. Let's stick with that for now, just so we know. So I add that. And now I have some kind of lunch entered. And basically all I want to do is just subtract from here. So for dinner, this week, we have been eating bone-in pork chops, about 3 ounces, and I made a huge vat of mashed potatoes in my slow cooker. And so we're probably gonna have 200 grams of those. Yeah, let's just do that for now. And I am working out today, so I need to enter my Earth Fed Muscle protein shake. And before bed, almost every single day, I end up having casein, Optimum casein in chocolate, and I tend to like to add a tablespoon of peanut butter. So by doing this, it kind of gives me just a really good snapshot of the things that I most likely will be eating. And now I can see, okay, I still have 400 calories, 41 carbs, 15 grams of fat, and 20 grams of protein to play with. That's basically a whole nother meal. So most likely I will end up having some sort of pre-WOD snack, or I might save it and have more food with dinner. You can see that we're very non-veggie right now. I don't stress about pre-adding vegetables because they are so, especially if they're not cooked in oil or anything, they're so minimal as far as what they're going to change down here. And so I kind of just add whatever I have and I'll add it in after I eat it. Not going to stress about that. And like I said, we're at the end of the week. I don't have a ton of food left. So just to reiterate, you really want to enter as many phantom meals as you possibly can, especially if you're a beginner, because this is really going to teach you what kind of macros are in certain foods, especially if you keep it really simple and eat fairly the same almost every day. It's going to make your life a lot easier as far as entering and coming up with meals and staying on track. Because now you pre-entered everything, you have what I like to call fun macros left over, and these are the ones, you have your basic breakfast, lunch, and dinner, your 2 maybe protein snacks, and these are the ones that you can use to fill in at any point in time during the day, and they could be snacks, they could be a meal, they're a little more lenient.
I have a doctor's appointment coming up and then I'm gonna go work out, so I wanted to make kind of just a macro-friendly pre-workout snack. So show you guys what we have today. So I'm making a tuna fish sandwich, and this is one of the easiest meals you will ever log because all these items have barcodes. In your MyFitnessPal app, when you go to log a food, on the top right corner is a barcode logo. You just hit that and you literally take a picture of whatever the food item is, and it brings up the exact product. So I literally just took a picture of all of these things. I changed this to 2 slices of bread instead of 1, and it entered it right into MyFitnessPal app perfectly.
Just finished my doctor's appointment and I am now off to train with my coach for a little bit. But first we're gonna have that tuna fish sandwich we made earlier. So, see you guys later. Just getting back from the gym, and I guess I'm preparing what I would call meal 2. So far we've had meal 1, we had the tuna fish sandwich, which was a snack. I have already drank my post-workout shake, and now we are on to technically meal 2. So what I like to do is always have what's called a fast carb post-workout, and that's any carb that has very little fiber and very little fat, so it digests very quickly. So we're actually going to have some mashed potatoes that I have previously cooked in a crock pot this week.
All right, so we're gonna measure out our mashed potatoes. We already have the scale set at 0 grams, so we're just gonna go ahead and put as many potatoes on there. That equals 200 grams. And potatoes, 200 grams on the dot. Thank you. All right, next up is our beef tenderloin tips. Just scrub these up. We're gonna put 3 ounces of that onto the plate. So again, remember, in order to do this, all you have to do is push tar, and that's gonna reset it. So let's go ahead and push tar, which resets it to 0, and then we want ounces. So we just basically hit unit until we have our ounces. Sorry, that's a little hard to see. There we go. All right, we added our 3 ounces of beef. It's 3.2. I'll take it for what it is. And now we're gonna add our tzatziki sauce. Our tzatziki sauce, on the label, it reads 2 tablespoons is 30 grams weighed. So we need to go over here. And right now it's on ounces. So first I'm going to tar it. And then I'm going to hit unit until grams. Perfect. And then I'll weigh out 30 grams. We have 30 grams of our tzatziki sauce on the plate. Meal number 2 is served.
Okay, so we just had meal 2, which was kind of an audible. We weren't really expecting to have that. So what I'm going to do is I ended up not eating this. So you just delete the sweet potato and the 3 ounces of chicken. And instead I'm going to add, we'll say baked mashed the reason I didn't choose actual mashed potatoes was because the ones I made have they're pretty much just potatoes. If I had chosen a mashed potato, I'm not really sure how much butter, how much milk they put in that. So instead I just went with a baked flesh of the potato because pretty much that's all it was. So we had 200 grams. And then I had grilled beef tenderloin tips. I always like to try and look a little bit first to kind of get a gauge. Yeah, that looks about right. So notice I didn't choose the first one, simply because it doesn't say cooked. It doesn't have like grilled or cooked or sauteed, anything like that. It's just telling me. And raw meat weighs much different than cooked meat. So when you weigh out cooked meat, you need to make sure that you're choosing a login that says grilled or sauteed or cooked of some sort. Add that. Okay. So you can see here, I did this from my mobile, but it syncs right up. We have our Kirkland tuna, Hellman's mayo, and 2 slices of bread. We have the protein shake that I drank post-workout. And let's see. Okay, so we're over 19 carbs. We're good with fats, and we're over on protein. So this, since I already had potatoes, I'm probably not going to eat this, so I'm literally just going to delete it. And now we're under 24 carbs. So dinner will probably be a sweet potato of some sort, maybe more of a snack because it's actually 5 o'clock right now. Protein 9, I'm not really worried about that because protein kind of weighs so differently. I like to be within 5, and 9 is okay. If anything, I would just remove a little bit of this protein powder. And fat's right on. So far we're looking good. To close out the day, my meal that I had earlier, the potatoes with beef, was around 5:30, so I ended up wanting more snacky foods at night, which is just something that I tend to do, is what I like. I like snacks over meals sometimes, if not most of the time, especially at night. So for me, I ended up getting rid of the pork chops and the mashed potatoes, and I had some Greek yogurt and an apple. Weighed it out, it was about 100 grams. And then later I had my Optimum Nutrition, or Optimum casein, which I made into a casein waffle. And I'll make a video of that another time. It's really, really easy. And then I just added some creamy peanut butter to it, and that kind of closed out my night. You see, not a perfect day, and this is why I really stress entering all of this before, or as much as you can before eating it, because ideally we want to be within 5 for carbs and protein. Protein we did pretty well, and 2 for fat. Unfortunately, I didn't eat anything that I could add butter or oil to, in my opinion anyway. So I kind of, well, I guess you could add butter to a casein waffle if you wanted to. That would have gotten me a little bit closer, and carbs I would have liked to be a little more under, but it's fine. It's no big deal. You can see we're still reading in at about 1,700 calories. My goal is 1,747. It's saying I have 54 left, but here's where you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Nothing is perfect, and we are not perfect, and neither is this app. So even though we log all of this, for example, a can of tuna fish, just by scanning the barcode, it tells you it's 16 grams of protein, and it's telling me that a can is 56 grams. If I was to actually weigh out the tuna, and some people do this, there are some people that are very, very strict with how accurate they want to be. I don't think it creates that big of a deal, and instead creates an obsession. So I try to stay away from that. But if I was to weigh out this can of tuna, I can almost guarantee that it would not read the same amount in the can that would be what it says it is. Same thing goes with bread. If you ever see that it says 2 slices should be 43 grams, I can almost guarantee that 2 slices are never going to be the same, and they won't be 43. But because there's so many different variables going on, it really, in the end of the day, it all does even out. So, today wasn't my most perfect day, and I wanted to show you guys that even I myself, I've been doing this for over a year now. I don't have perfect days, but it's staying consistent. I was as close as I possibly could. I, enjoyed my day. I enjoyed the foods I was eating. And I think that's really what's important when it comes down to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of a glimpse into my day and exactly, how simple it can be to track your macros throughout the day. I hope it helps you understand how to do that in MyFitnessPal. And I hope you picked up on a few tips and tricks about, trying to add things in before you ever eat them. So I thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me, dgmpnutrition@gmail.com. Please subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram @dgmpnutrition, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.